All right, all right, all right. Hello, everyone. Unmute yourself, Charles.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Gospel Takes. Thank you for joining us live. We apologize for the delay. We're having some technical difficulties. You may hear echo, I'm not sure, but hopefully you guys will join in on our exciting topics for tonight and conversation. We want to invite you to join in on the chat. We want to highlight your comments and your questions you may have. So just want to encourage everyone to participate. This is a place where faith, culture, and conversation comes together, and we're excited about tonight's shows and our topics for today. So happy Thursday to everyone. I'm Charlie. I'm Charlie McKaye. I'm a podcaster, people connector. I host a podcast here in Detroit called the Detroit Metro Plug Podcast, where we feature local entrepreneurs and community leaders, and they talk about what they're doing in the community.
And I am just selling off. Well, he's fine. What does he say? It's sequel. Hey, what is it for real? Other novels, books, singles, and relationships. I'm also an executive of this show, along with Charlie, an executive producer as well. And can you guys hear me? Oh, okay, because I can't hear. All right. And I am an upcoming executive producer of upcoming projects as well. So God is good. And yeah, I'm excited about tonight's show. We have a lot to talk about. So check me out in the description if you want to connect with me. All of us, you can connect with us in the description. Hey, Brother D. How are you?
Awesome. Oh, there we go. All right. Good evening, everybody. Good to be on tonight. Great things. I hope everybody has had a great week so far. So I'm excited about the discussion tonight. And I believe it's going to be a great flow. So I want to welcome everybody and thanks for being on tonight.
All right. So what you guys been up to? What's been going on since the last time we've been on?
Well, a lot is going on behind the scenes. Working on a major project that I'll be announcing soon. Just getting things firmed up for that. And yeah, just continue to build and grow what God has put in my heart and trust me with. So,
okay.
What about you, KD?
Trying to stay warm from 100-degree temperatures.
I know. Get cooled off, right?
I try to stay, but other than that, just trying to enjoy and embrace the summer. And it's starting to get dark a little early. The time is shifting. That we starting to lose a little daylight, so it's getting there.
I think it's about to rain.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. Oh no, it's just cloudy.
Oh, well, anything is better than 103. Anything is better. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. For those who are watching, there may be some local people, but those who are watching everywhere else, here in the Detroit area, we had the Fireworks Freedom Festival. Well, basically the fireworks this past Monday. And unfortunately, there was an incident there, and we were on Woodward and Congress. And we had to leave midway through the show because there was a lot of young people that was not with adults. And
wow.
Running in packs. So there was an incident. And unfortunately, I hope thoughts and prayers. There was an incident where people got injured. There was a gunshot to
Lord have mercy.
A minor and I think a 21-year-old and minor. But I just kept noticing, just minors, 16, 17, in packs roaming around. And I was thinking about, I have young adult children, and if my high school students, my children, if I wasn't with them, I wouldn't have them down there. But they taunting each other, throwing fireworks in crowds, causing a stampede. So, anyways, that was that's what
I'm
that's
sorry
what
to
I
hear
been through
that,
last week. Yeah,
Charles. I haven't
yeah,
been to the fireworks in Ions in downtown Detroit. I thought they got better because I know they got more
yeah. They have police
beautification.
presence. Yeah, but it's just they have to probably enforce the curfew. The minors. That was really what
Yeah, sounds
different
like.
energy.
Did you guys
Yeah.
at least get to enjoy the fireworks show, or
A
did it
little
have to?
bit, but we halfway through we said let's go ahead and get going because we don't want to get caught into the energy to starting to shift, and so
Yeah.
I hope that they can resolve that and create it where it's a family atmosphere and not worry
Yeah,
about our
again,
life in jeopardy.
Oh, that used to be one of my highlights back in the day, going to the fireworks. I'm sorry
Yeah,
that happened. Oh man. Hmm.
yeah, okay. Well, with that though, we made it out safe and
That's good, and that's the
we went
best
on
part.
with the rest of our week, and we're enjoying the summer weather here in the Metro Detroit area. All right,
Good.
yeah. All right, well, we can start things off with the church announcements. Let me cue that up. All right. Following this is the following church announcements. I have different categories. So this is trending in Black church news. According to the Guardian, they reported that the Pew Research Center, which is a faith-based research organization, they said 1 in 5 Black Americans, which represents 21%, are religiously unaffiliated with the Black church, and the Black church is rethinking how to engage with reaching these unchurched people with modern worship and contemporary worship. So there was a time, my parents' era and grandparents where, people belonged to a church or went to church, but now they're saying it's an increasing amount of number of Black Americans who don't affiliate themselves with a church. Also, in Black church news, thanks to a lawsuit, the historical Metropolitan AME Church in D.C. Was granted through the court control of the Proud Boys trademark. They were vandalized a few years back by the Proud Boys, and they filed a lawsuit, and the court awarded them the rights to their trademark, which they plan to use it for some positive things. Also, in Black church news, the National Baptist Convention is under scrutiny because they received a donation from Target in the amount of $300,000, and some church leaders are scrutinizing this because there's a continuing boycott for based upon Target's stance and change of stance with their DEI programs, and some Black leaders are scrutinizing the amount because there is a boycott for more amount to help with Black businesses and workforce development and other initiatives.
I'm
All right.
pissed. Charlie,
Also, yes,
sabotaging the show.
huh?
I'm sorry.
What's
Oh, you
that?
can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh.
Oh, also, in gospel artists tours, there's Tasha Cobbs. She announced her tour, um, uh, her whole free tour that's going on this summer. Also, in news, the Elevation Rhythm is doing a fall tour. They have dates in the fall. And Gospel Fest in Miami is going on this summer in Miami. The dates are, I believe, June 22nd through it's a whole week of events in Miami. Um, Texas Gospel Music Fest is also held August 15th through the 17th. Kirk Franklin is one of the headliners. As far as conventions this summer, we still have the Black Leadership and Family Conference, July 21st through the 25th, which will be held at Ridgecrest, North Carolina. So that concludes the church announcements. And in the words of Bernice Jenkins, govern yourself accordingly.
All right. Awesome. Thank you for those church announcements, Charlie. We greatly appreciate them. So now, what's the next segment? We got word on the street?
Yep, word on the street.
Okay.
Let me cue that up.
And I have it here too if you need some assistance.
Okay, word on the street. Let me bring that slide and we take this overlay off.
Okay, so we don't see the slide, Charlie, so we're going to go ahead and talk about it while you're bringing that together. So the word on the street, we're going to talk about Red Lobster. So, KD, what did you hear?
Well, it has been said that Red Lobster has a new African-American CEO, and my small group of friends are super excited about it. Actually, after our meeting, I went back and we talked about it with them. They are super, super excited. And so when I shared my observations, they kind of gave me some choice words, but
Whoa!
you know.
So you tested your observations with them before you brought it to us?
I did, and they lit me into pieces. But
no, I wanted to be able to do that.
Oh my goodness! I still stand on what I feel. So
you can talk about it here.
Oh yes, I would love to.
Okay.
Do you want to hear my thoughts on it?
Yes.
So let me just say this: I am glad to hear that there's an African American CEO. That's phenomenal. Okay. I celebrate that, but I don't celebrate the grand opening of menu items, the seafood boil bags, and the $5 drinks. And somebody told me that they're doing. Somebody said they're going to do like a seafood Kool-Aid.
Stop it! No, I haven't heard that.
Yeah, and that's going to be the one. That's going to be the one in Atlanta, Georgia area. They're doing like it's not really seafood, but I think that the different Kool-Aid flavors will have like the different seafood titles or whatever, just to appeal. And that's only going to be for a short period of time. So I just want to know what is the sales gimmick? What are you trying to do? Since when have we known Red Lobster have seafood boil bags? And
that's the innovation part of it. So they were actually filing bankruptcy, so they got out of but yeah, we can let's leave everybody unmuted because we're interacting with one another. So they were filing bankruptcy, and so they brought this 35-year-old CEO. He actually came from PFA.
Oh.
Yep, he turned PFPs around. And so they brought him on to the purpose of what he's doing now, being innovative. So they actually revamped the menu with the seafood boil bag things. They brought back cookies and the cheddar biscuit. They have those and some other things. So great. Job is literally bring them back to life, and I heard they're out the door. And it's definitely a lot of people are doing like bangs, showing them in the seafood. So I think it's just innovation. I don't, especially if it's people are coming. What you think?
I'm looking at the comments. Beverly says, please don't bring that to the ATL.
Oh, isn't he national?
Oh, yeah. He's the CEO of all the Red Lobsters.
It's coming. Hey, Prudence. Thank you guys for your patience.
I guess there was a period where back in the day, Red Lobster was considered to be like the elite restaurant. I mean, it wasn't like a Applebee's or a Chick-fil-A. I mean, you went to Red Lobster, that was like a nice dinner. So I'm just hoping that it does not get doesn't lose its integrity and its clientele.
You hoping it don't turn into the TGIF in Detroit?
See, I wasn't gonna say that, but
I went there
I'm concerned.
Just to chill. No,
I'm concerned.
I don't think I think he's gonna turn it into like a place to be. Like he's young. He's actually doing something visible. I think it's gonna attract like an up and coming professional. Because they're not cheap. They're like 45, 50.
But you already have places that do seafood boil bags, and you already Hook and Reel and Crazy Crab. Right. You got places that do that. Like Red Lobster has its own distinctive brand and its distinctive image, and families will go there to eat. I don't know. Because next they're going to put a DJ in there probably. I don't know. So, you know.
That would be cool. What's your take?
I'm just kind of waiting to see. It sounds like they're trying to, I don't want to say find new gimmicks. Like I think the $5 drinks is something that Applebee's does during their happy hour, but
yes, they do.
Maybe they're targeting a certain demographic.
Yeah.
I know for me, growing up, as a young adult, or even a high school student, Red Lobster was kind of like the go-to place for a celebration, for whether it's an anniversary or a graduation or something like that. And so it's kind of like fell off. So hopefully this new CEO can chart a new direction and maybe get a different demographic.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a positive thing. So awesome. Next subject.
All right. So we have the Monica and Brandy tour. So Kim, you have a lot to say about this.
Yes. I'm just happy that they're coming back and coming together all alone and beautiful. They look great. And back in the day coming up, that was already for the 80s. The Boy Is Mine, down. And I'm just glad they're back together. And they're both very positive people. I'm glad they never really had a real for kind of like so. But yeah, they're coming on tour. So I'm excited about that. Let me see if I can. Let's see. So it looks like they're going to be in Detroit. 5 at the Losers. And I'm sure this if you Google it, go.com. This is November 29th, Detroit. So, but I know people are from different spots. So let me see. I can see it. Dates announced on the board here. Okay, here we go. So they're going to be starting October, Ohio, Wisconsin, Chicago, Illinois, Indiana, Mississippi, Atlanta, Georgia, Greensboro, North Carolina, Baltimore, Maryland, Las Vegas, Nevada, Oakland, California, California, North Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, Birmingham, Alabama, St. Louis, Missouri, New York, New Jersey, New Jersey, Hampton, Virginia, Detroit, Michigan, Washington, D.C., New Orleans, Louisiana, Fort Worth, and Houston, Texas. And then they have Mooney Long is not appearing in certain ones, but it looks like she's only in Virginia, but she has the other ones. She's a good coming artist. Well, so yeah, excited about that. You guys remember?
I do.
What do you remember about it?
But I didn't know that video were they really beefing or was that just acting?
I think it was they made it beefing, but you know,
I've always wondered, did they really like each other? Always wondered. And then I'm even wondering about this tour. So are they going to be on the stage together, or is it one go first, one and the other one? Are they going to be together, or is it individual performances?
Wow, that's a great question because they only have them together, so that'd be awesome if they could because they all have their body, and they can do their own song individually and come together with the boys. That'll probably be a song.
So someone in the chat is asking about the attire, which I am too. What is the message behind the outfits that they? Well, not the one in the black.
You talking about the tour? That's the official tour cover.
No. The
talking about that?
The white, because someone Beverly Wright says. So what do you think the message is with that?
I haven't thought about the message. What are your thoughts? It's funny because my eye looked at that. I thought of space. I thought they had on accents at first, but guess what they have on, y'all? Guess what they have on? It looks like they have on earbuds, headphones.
Oh, okay. Well, what's see? When I look at marketing promotion, I look at stuff like that. I'm just finding the significance of it. You know, I don't know. You think the tickets gonna sell out?
I think so. A whole generation was impacted by it, and I do think now that I'm looking at it, I'm glad you mentioned it because marketing to have something to catch someone's attention, catch your eye, and I think it really does it. The white standing out, and then the fact that they almost look similar. The way they look like sisters here, and with the same expression. It looks like it could be a straight jacket, but really the straight jacket has to be found by earbuds and microphones.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool. What's your take?
I was gonna say, I know that KD had a confession last show about Love Jones. So I have a confession of this show. Though I knew about Brandy and Monica, I wasn't back in the 90s. I wasn't really listening to R&B like that. In the 90s, I was in college, and this is just that was when the East Coast West Coast battle was going on between Biggie and Tupac, and Wu-Tang and all those different. So I really don't even know the whole history with were they really beefing and the Boy Is Mine song and the backstory. So. But I'm excited that they're coming out. I've had coworkers talk about that they're going to go to the concert and hopefully that reunites their career. Not that their career is dead, but to be honest, I don't really know the history.
Oh wow. Okay. So we are getting feedback about the echoing. So that's here. But that was the reason for the delay. The echoing. So, but we're gonna continue on, and we will have that resolved by the next level. Apologize, but holding us up for time. We have to get that resolved. So, and we will. So. All right. Next up, Charlie, did you have your coffee this morning?
I'm sorry.
Coca-Cola.
What did you say?
Did you have some caffeine this morning?
I had caffeine this afternoon.
Okay. That's good. Amen.
All right, so that's the word on the streets. Red Lobster and the Monica-Brandy tour. So now we're going to go to something a little more light on the pews of talking. And so we're going to talk about church offering etiquette. And let me show this video to cue us up on this one.
Now the part with me grabbing the collection box, I'm sorry, but some had went in there that belongs to me, and it took everything in me not to go in that box.
Right now, you're saying you just want it changed.
Exactly, and everybody walking around acting like there's no change to be given. So I wanted my change. Yes, I wasn't finna put no whole $100 in. I ain't got but $100 left.
Hey, you about that Sunday before last. We don't get change. When you stick it in there,
I didn't stick it in there.
Well, when your wife stuck it in there.
Well, that ain't my hand.
And
I feel like I got robbed. I started calling the police. I know robbery strong arm.
Let me
you ain't finna rob me, and I'm agree to it.
All right, so the pews are talking. So this is kind of a funny video that went kind of viral a while back. And so what is church offering etiquette? So I have been in situations where someone put cash in the offering plate, and they may change themselves, or they asked the usher to they wanted change back, whether it was $100 or $50. And so what is church offering etiquette? We'd like to hear your response from me in the chat. And then this is coming off of the whole close the doors and all that kind of stuff with Marvin Sapp. So is it appropriate to ask for change? I know there's new ways to give. People can give online with Tithely or Giveify or Cash App. So what do you guys think about that? About the was he out of order asking for change?
You asking the audience first?
Or you guys, or audience? I don't know if the chat has responded yet.
I'm always under the impression that it's not what you do, but it's how you do it. And some churches say if you need change, then meet us in the back at the conclusion of the service. So some churches have a protocol and an etiquette of doing it, not in the middle of service. So, but a lot of churches do a lot of digital giving now and so forth. So you don't really, churches I've been to haven't run into that lately. But if it was me, I need my change. I mean, unless the message and the service was that phenomenal, it would have to take God to say, Kevin, you give $100, but yeah, I would need change. So I've only had 2 incidents where somebody got mad of me asking for change, and I didn't even want to cause an issue. I just said, just keep it. I said, Lord bless me.
Amen.
That man was in. Oh, someone said that man was intoxicated.
That part.
I was wondering the same thing.
Then somebody gonna pull out the phone and record this man talking crazy. Intoxicated. Yeah, so from where I come from, like the church I came from, if you want change, you get the change first. Before you put the money in the basket, you don't put the money in the basket. It's like, oh, by the way, change. Because that becomes problems. So yeah, you get an usher, give them change first, and then the usher gives you your change after you give them your 100 or whatever the bill is. Yeah. So that's my take on it. But it was just, I thought it was just, you know, like Chuck said, something interesting to talk about. Singing light.
Yeah, so you guys have an experience, somebody asking for change or taking change out once they put it in there, like whether a big bill?
I haven't experienced it personally.
Okay. All right. So that's a light topic.
Yeah.
Now we are going to get ready for the fire topic. All right, let's cue that up. All right. Tyler, Perry, we're here. And I believe this started in this.
Yeah, every time I fire topics, I'm thinking about fire. I don't know if y'all know KD's time, because he's the young buck of the crew here. But yeah, my mom is at the who made that song? It was like the horns. I can't remember who it was. My mom used to listen.
Yeah.
Earth, Wind and Fire?
No, it was man, I'm gonna have to look it up. But yeah, I as y'all know, I was hesitant to talk about what is going on, Lord? So I wanted to play a clip, but I don't want it to be all echoey. So I'm sure most of you guys know something about what's going on. I'll share a brief synopsis, and you can check out the different other bloggers that are kind of reads it. Somebody actually Tony Gass reads the whole thing. And check that out. So in a nutshell, I'm saying Tyler Perry is being sued for $260 million by an actor by the name of Derek Dixon, who appeared on 2 of his shows. The first one was like a really quick show, really quick appearance, and I guess that show he must have did well, because he ended up his main role was the Oval for several seasons of the Oval. So the reason I'm saying is because on the surface people are thinking of it like they're thinking of it like a one-time thing, like okay, this person is saying he's alleging that Tyler Perry SA'd him. You know, on YouTube you can't really SA'd him, and there are text messages out there where it clearly shows that Tyler Perry was expressing interest in him, but he wasn't reciprocating. And one of the texts unfortunately said, we got to help get rid of that church religious guilt, because he was trying to convince Derek that it's okay to have sex with him. But he was saying, and so he was like, you gotta go to your therapist and have your therapist make sure you don't have religious guilt anymore. So it's almost like he was trying to manipulate it, because Derek was telling the excuse that Derek was giving with TP that he didn't want to do it was that hey, I'm abstinent, you know, I'm a Christian. And Tyler was being, these are alleged that he was being predatory and insisting that he, you know, and then there were other texts that he said, you're so fine, that looks go to waste. And then of course that's insinuating the whole allegations of the elemental community. And but what people don't really realize, and I want to dialogue with you after this. What people don't realize is that some people are like, oh, it's just it is a civil lawsuit. So in a civil lawsuit, you can only sue for money. Like Cassie's when she did hers, she got that settlement, so that was civil. So this isn't, it's not a criminal lawsuit, even though it could be because of the SA allegation. He is looking for a payday. But at the same time, you don't want to give a person the ammunition to even be able to ask for that. The clip I wanted to show you, it was talking about how someone mentioned that he probably tried to settle outside of it and didn't get what he wanted, because a lot of times when you get a lawsuit, it's after you tried to settle. And so Tyler probably wasn't having it. So now we have a whole lawsuit. And the way it is now in the internet street, you got bloggers all over the place. You got public documents, lawsuits, documents. So there are people reading line by line what happened. And another main argument in addition to the SA is quid pro quo. So basically, they're just saying that he only had job security with Tyler Perry Studios, and this is why the studios is being sued. He only had job security if he complied with Tyler's advances, with his sexual advances. So because Tyler Perry ultimately pew-pewed off his character. And also there's allegation about Derek having a pilot that he wanted to present to Tyler and having to do, and that Tyler was kind of saying, I'll produce it if you do X, Y, and Z for me sexually. So that's why it's a quid pro quo. You do this for me, I do this for you. You don't do this for me, I won't do this for you. And at one point, when Derek complained to EEOC, he ended up getting laid off by Tyler Perry Studios without pay. So then you got the retaliatory aspect. So it's just a lot going on. And if we can, let me get back to the other three of us. What do you guys feel about what I shared? I'm so sad.
I'm with you. I mean, I just think it comes with the territory. No matter, the higher you get, the more money you make, the more influence you have. It's a risky thing. I mean, only they know what happened.
Yeah.
I put it that way. Only they know what happened. But once something gets out there, you got to go back into that guilty and innocent. Well, I don't know, guilty is proven innocent until proven guilty. But once it's out there, whether it's true or not, just the fact that once something gets out there, it's a reputation. Yeah, it's a reputation that's damaged. Which, why I would not be so quick to get on the celebrity level, because that comes with the territory. The more money you get, the more fame you get, the more popular you get. You open yourself up to allegations that you got. If you shake somebody's hand, they'll appreciate if you're shaking a hand, but you make them mad. The next day, that shaking of the hand will turn into something else. So I think it's a very fragile place to be the higher you get.
I hear you, but to me, money is magnifier, and the character who you truly are is magnified. And then before I wanted to mention how when Christian Keys about a year ago, he came out with he live online, I think Instagram, and he shared how there's a billionaire that made him. And he went into detail about how he had a pen that was recording conversations, recorder pen. He felt so uncomfortable. This billionaire grabbed at his cuff, and he kind of jumped and experienced like, oh, great, And he did this long rent. But then next year, no longer think about it anymore. So Derek, and he listed Christian, and by the way, Christian from Detroit, shout out to the brother actor. Derek mentioned Christian Keys in the law school as saying that he was off, and that paid for his silence. And when you look at the two of them, it was like a pattern, like the way that he's described it, and then the way that Derek is describing it. Except Derek was more trying to be careful about it, to like there was a text that I saw where Tyler Perry had a picture of himself. He was just had on regular water skiing gear, nothing inappropriate. But he sent the picture to Derek and was like, hey, what you think? And Derek was like, nice picture. And then Tyler Perry was like, is that all you got? And then Derek was like, oh, nice, great, awesome picture. And then Tyler Perry was like, you don't see that in there? And so it was like he was fishing for compliment. A billionaire fishing Lord. So Derek ultimately, yes, it's good. So I guess our allegation, but I feel there's truth to them only because of the patterns and people in ATL have come out their stories with their experience with Tyler Perry Studios to go union. And the people tried to form make it union ended up getting fired because he's not union, and he didn't want them nice for private, money. But the other thing we do too is, like you said, when money is a magnifier. It just feels like a lot of people, when they get to be millionaires, lose their future. Or this is what I was going to share. We were talking about this the other day. It allows them to put forth their agenda. Some people were saying that Tyler Perry was the church audience to get them as a bait. But now that he's from the church, I have this that strong. I hadn't seen a lot of this stuff, and I heard they more like explicit with men and stuff like that. And some people are saying they use the church as a come up, and now he's for the elemental P agenda. Now that he has them, it's like what's the word? He's like untouchable. He owns his studio. He does all the writing. You own everything. You accountable to know. Then it could be a dangerous place. I guess like what I say last week. Wow. So think about that. Back and forth. Katie the other day.
It's sensitive.
Yeah.
It's sensitive, and definitely pray for all of them. All those involved. If I was to take a spiritual aspect of it, I definitely pray for all of them. And if there are some infectious acts in this, it is my hope that whoever needs to get the help that they need. If they really care about their business, one allegation is one thing, two is another one. But when this keeps coming up over and over and over again, it's like, whoa, this can damage the entire industry. And so, at some point you got to do either a self-examination, a business examination, circle examination. I don't know. But like I said, only they know what's going on. But I also look at these as warning signs. If these things are taking place, all right, I know we believe in grace and we get that. But if you know that there are things that are happening that could cause this, it's like, hey, let's put an end to it. Let's not keep making it happen, because you only can take so many before a person says, I'm removing my endorsement or I'm removing my funds.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that there's not a level of arrogancy that it's like I'm just going to pay my way out of it. If it is true, I hope that's not the case.
Yeah, because I saw Alfonso Ribeiro. He was initially going to be a part of the Studios. He withdrew himself. So someone has that power, multi-billionaire, reputation. And this is the other thing we were going to talk about. When you have a person as a philanthropist, and when you're known as help the community, does that exclude you from negation? Because I know on the record, Envy had mentioned, we know Tyler's character. He wasn't anything like that. He's X, Y, Z, and he can so for people. But my take on it is two things can be at the same time. You can have an image or be a philanthropist, and you can even really care about and love people. Loves the seniors. He'll buy all their food and close the stores, get groceries, and I absolutely that. But that same person, unfortunately, do things behind closed doors as well.
Well, we live in a culture now where you can buy your respect. You can buy it.
Wow.
You can buy the respect. You can buy integrity. Things that we were once known to work hard for. It is now, if you have enough money, you don't have to work. You can buy people's respect for you, attention for you, protection for you. So like the scripture says, that it's not the money itself that's the root of all evil, it's the love of it. And when you have loved it so much that it has become your God, like when everything in your life revolves around your money, then you begin to, that money becomes the source of everything, to where you feel like that money is going to protect me from anything and everything, which can be very damaging.
Yeah. And you don't really know the true motivation. Unfortunately, God knows. He judges our heart. And sometimes like he knows he's a billionaire. He knows the position he's in. I remember reading the text message from the list of executives, and I guess Derek was going to a costume party, and Tyler Perry in the picture, and it was a picture of him and cowboy, and Tyler Perry said, "Look like the cowboy, your daddy, because your outfit missing parts." Cowboy need a shirt. That's what it said. Cowboy need a shirt.
Kim, how did all this stuff leak out? Is it in the lawsuit, the text messages, or
it's like a 100 pages document, and we have bloggers that look line for line.
Oh, and people FOIA the lawsuit information. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yes, and they show text messages are in there, and the whole interaction. So the other bags, he came from an event planning company where he's hiring actors, but he was serving as a waiter. So now that this person is like trafficking people to Tyler that are starry-eyed, poor, looking for. So I'm just disappointed because I mean I work. I still admire and respect his work, but you have to have the character to match. You know, especially nowadays, what's done in the dark to the light. You hide it. Social media. Everybody has a voice on social media. I mean, I was watching where I know this is totally, but like Dr. Umar, he is a character. And his daughter grew up. Now she's and she started to talk about how she didn't see her dad. So these people that are having kids, and if you're not spending time with them, they're gonna grow up and they're gonna get So it's just you cannot get away with poor character. Which I don't know, maybe for a bad thing. What you think, Charlie?
Well, just hearing, I mean, you did a really in-depth analysis breaking down the text messages and everything. Obviously, I've watched Tyler Perry's work. He's established in Black Hollywood. I think the current reports is that he is now he's a billionaire with his catalog and his studio. The thing I think about is that he built his business off of loyal church followers, and which is nothing wrong with that. And he had spiritual themes, Christian themes in his work, his plays, and his movies, and that's a credit to his genius. But he built an empire on the church as a platform beginning. And I guess maybe his lifestyle could be perceived as a conflict with the church currently. Now he hasn't come out saying, what his orientation is. Obviously this lawsuit shed some light on what possibly could go on, and that's his personal business. But I know the church, there's different aspects of views on that lifestyle. Some are conservative, some more open. But in my experience, I observed growing up in the church that with a particular community, whether it's Elemental P or LBDC, which how people refer, that it was kind of like a don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah.
Because I can remember, and I don't know what everybody else's experience, but I remember those people who were gifted singers, playing the organ, maybe even preachers, and their gift superseded any behavior that was going on. As long as your whatever was going on in your private life didn't come out, basically it was like a don't ask, don't tell. Your gift made room for you if you was gifted and talented. And obviously, Tyler Perry is gifted and talented, and I think that if there's like a don't ask, don't tell with him and his work. But
that's because do you think because of the era we're now with social media, do you think this will affect viewership of his movies?
I don't think so. I think he's built a massive catalog, and I think, not saying he's going to get a pass. It's just kind of like, okay, well, he's not perfect. I guess there's people who are trying to encourage him to live out whatever his truth is. But
I wish he would come out.
Right.
Because the Black community, we're overall more accepted now. Remember, we weren't at first a while ago, but I feel now because this is one of the the other day, Katie, I said I was going to say here. So the reason I think it's important to discuss that is I feel like living out as a writer, sometimes we vicariously live out things through our writing. And so I've heard the ones where they said they got to take men on the actual. And I think because he's not out, that he's used his writing as an outlet to live out what he's supposed to. Because like I said last show, we talked about Tyler Perry. Then I shared how my parents used to send me articles about it. I knew the story. From what I gathered, allegedly, from what I gathered in first, his dad molested, which set him to my husband, Donnie McClurkin. He's my husband. Donnie McClurkin, because I read his story. He was hired by his uncle right after a funeral. It was horrible. And then the following year, he was hired. This is like 10 years old, 9 and 10 years old, by his cousin, his uncle's son. And so he talks about how that set him on a path of desiring because he was rude. And I just feel like Harry, because he's not out, his beard, the girlfriend or whatever. I think that's keeping him from being fully healthy and whole. Even though I don't the lifestyle, I endorse people living out their truth, letting God lead them, but it has to come from a place of truth. Otherwise, it's gonna come out in other ways, and it won't be the healthy way, and it won't be it'll be ways that will help others. Like his for him. I guess that's what the generational curse. But we gotta break it. So.
Okay.
Yeah. KD is like, I'm dying.
I think KD, you think it's his personal business, whatever.
I do. Because it's like this. When somebody, I don't know why people want that part of somebody's personal life to come out, but if there's other areas, people say, well, keep that to yourself.
Which area?
Like if somebody has a drinking problem, or if somebody has any type of other personal problems, Well, I'm saying, but mind you, these are celebrities. When it's a celebrity, everybody wants to know. But if it's Joe Blow off the street, nobody cares. So is it because of the person's status, or is it, if it really matters, then everybody's under that same expectation of revealing. Me personally, whether he came out with his personal life or not, it does not add or take away from me as an individual. Like, it does not benefit me. It does not add to me. It's just extra bit of information to know. Lastly, I can't look at his life and what he made, because I know we all got something that we're working on in our lives. And we don't know what his relationship with God is like. We don't know what God is working on him about. I don't know. So, I mean, if he does choose to, anybody that may come out with that, okay, what does it benefit? Like, what does it gives something to somebody, it gives people something to talk about maybe, but how would it help him, or how would it benefit him if it was true and he did expose that personal part of his life? Like, I don't know. Like, there are some things in people's lives that I believe is personal, and it's between them and God. And when they are ready, and if they are ready, then they will reveal that in their timing. But if they're pressured into doing it, let me tell you what it can do. It could lead to some serious mental, emotional, and worse. I put it that way. I've seen worse. And we don't want to be not we as in this group, but you don't want to be responsible. It's like, wow, everybody pushing somebody to make that move. And then they get so overwhelmed mentally and emotionally from the embarrassment, the humiliation, that they say, hey, I don't want to be here no more. And now there's another story we got to tell. Did I play a role in that decision being made? So that's why I was like, I don't want that blood on my hands, because,
Yeah, I guess I feel like where we are now, like when he came out, to me, he's so free now. He's just more free to be himself. We were throwing stones, but then again, he didn't like the Christian community initially. Maybe that has it, but for me, I feel like him not being out affecting his, which is affecting other people. So that's how I appreciate what I think that's a great take. Now let me ask y'all, do y'all think had there been a woman, there's been a case about saying a woman did pro quo with a woman, that the response would have been different?
Yeah. I think
it wouldn't even have been a story. Oh, go ahead.
No, well, if there was SA involved towards the women, I think that I think it still would have been a story. Yeah.
It would have been more like impact.
I mean, it depends on the degree of what the allegations were, but just hearing your review of the messages, it sounds like he was pursuing this actor, and the actor wasn't reciprocating. It was no like salacious things that was revealed. But if there was an essay towards a woman, and there was some, it depends on the allegations. I think the story could have had a different turn.
What about you, KB?
It wouldn't even be a story.
It probably would have been a white woman.
That's a whole nother one. Yeah.
For 200.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was us chatting about it where we were saying between the races. When it's a white person involved, the main difference is it attracts mainstream media news. So like a Dare woman, or if it was another woman, clear color woman, then it would be in like a TMZ or like I don't know about good, but it would be more mainstream media, which has wide audiences. Whereas if it was a white person and it came out, it might be or it might be on something like that. A few bloggers. So that I think that's another impact is why because of media coverage. Yeah. So that's something I thought. But I think we could do everything, take our money. Yeah.
What do you guys takeaways?
Like I shared, what's done in the dark on the light. So you have to have integrity with your serving. If you serve a Christian audience, certain values and views, and he comes off himself as someone in agreement with those values and views. But if it's out of alignment, that will ultimately be revealed. I'm hearing pittering. Can we? I don't know, because I've been hearing it. But yeah, so dark will be revealed. That's takeaway.
Yeah, I already gave my takeaway. So yeah, I'm just waiting to see what happens, where it goes from here.
Yeah, I think that we should always seek truth. And wherever that truth leads, and my takeaway would be don't put celebrities on a pedestal.
That part. Yeah, I agree. Yep. And if you guys have questions, share in the comments or more than welcome to do as well. All right. That segment.
Okay. Well, we don't have questions of the week this week, but if those who would like to submit a question and remain anonymous, they can email us at gospeltakestv@gmail.com. gospeltakestv@gmail.com. Your question can be featured during our Q&A segment. And yeah, so that's I think we covered all our segments.
All right. Thank you so much. We're gonna do better next week because we can have an echo.
All right. Yes. I'm not sure what's echo. We do apologize.
You said what now?
Oh, I said I'm not sure what's causing the echo, but we do apologize and want to encourage people to continue to follow, like, subscribe, and want to hear your takes in the comments. So please like, share, subscribe, share your takes in the comments, and we'll see you next time.
All right.
Thanks for watching Gospel Takes, where faith meets culture with bold, Christ-centered perspective. We keep it real, react to what's viral, dive deep into the conversations shaping the church today. Whether it's church trends, cultural hot topics, or powerful testimonies, our goal is to glorify God. Got a question you want us to answer on the show? Email us at gospeltakestv@gmail.com. Your question could be featured in our weekly Q&A segment. And if you've been blessed by this content, consider supporting the show. You can give through Cash App at $Gospel Takes, or send via Zelle or PayPal to gospeltakestv@gmail.com. Until next time, stay rooted, stay real, and keep God first.